Good morning, friends. I'm extremely grateful to Dr. Garg and his team for inviting me here on this occasion and to chair and coordinate this important session. Sustainable energy options, energy, water, food, nexus. If one looks at it, it's a very difficult topic. If one has to deal with it. The two important aspects, the sustainability as well as the food nexus. I mean, these are two separate issues. At the Rio plus 20 conference in 2012, the whole world ultimately settled that there will be 32 different definitions for sustainability. There is no one single scientific definition which defines sustainability. And the world is living with those 32 different definitions. So that's the sustainable part of it. The second is we are also talking about food. And a few days back, just 2-3 days back, there is a message which was viral on the internet. Many of you might have read. The UN body conducted a worldwide survey. And the only question they asked was, and just note each word, would you please give your honest opinion about solutions to the food shortage in the rest of the world? And when the report came out, they said when they analyzed the feedback from different persons, the survey was a huge failure. In Africa, they did not know what food meant. So that is the situation in the African continent. In India, they did not know what honest meant. When we asked your honest opinion, so most of the responses from India, they said that they were not fully conversant with what honest means. In Europe, they did not know what shortage meant. In China, they did not know what opinion meant. And Middle East, they did not know what solution meant. In South America, they did not know what please meant. And USA, they did not know what the rest of the world meant. The Japanese did not understand the word rest. So these were the observations, and under these two contexts, the sustainability with 32 different definitions accepted by UN, with the food issues where people have different interpretations, and this is the UN survey which came out a week back, and they find that so many different diverse opinions are being expressed. Dr. Garg has organized a session on sustainable energy options and energy, water, and food nexus. But then there are various issues that need to be talked about, but one needs to have a proper understanding of what really the water, energy, and food security nexus means. If we take the definition of FAO, the Food and Agriculture Organization of the UN, it means that water security, energy security, and food security are very much linked to one another, meaning that the actions in any one particular area often can have effects in one or both of the other areas. These three sectors, water, energy, and food security, are necessary for benefit of human well-being, poverty reduction, and sustainable development. Now, this is the importance that if we consider on sustainable energy separately, sustainable water supply separately, and sustainable food supply separately, we will not be able to attain the optimum that is being expected in the world, and we will not be able to meet our sustainable development goals by 2030. Why are we talking of the nexus approach? And that's more important. Everyone could talk of energy sustainability, water sustainability, and food separately. Improved water, energy, and food security on a global level can be achieved through a nexus approach, an approach that integrates management and governance. Now, there are both the two separate issues that we need to consider, not only technology alone. Management and governance across sectors and scales. A nexus approach can support the transition to a green economy, which aims, among other things, at resource use efficiency and greater policy coherence. Now, the nexus perspective, a nexus perspective increases the understanding of the interdependencies across water, energy, and food sectors, and influences policies in other areas and concern, such as climate and biodiversity. A deep understanding of the nexus will provide the informed and transparent framework that is required to meet increasing global demands without compromising sustainability. That's the key issue. We are able to meet the total global demands and we don't compromise with the sustainability of the global system. The nexus approach will also allow decision makers to develop appropriate policies, strategies, and investments to explore and exploit synergies and to identify and mitigate trade-offs among the development goals related to water, energy, and food security. Active participation by and among government agencies, the private sector, and civil society is critical to avoiding unintended adverse consequences. The focus on civil societies and the private sector was not so much up to 2012 UN conference, but beyond that, the private sector and the civil societies are expected to play a much greater role when it comes to management of the systems. While the opportunities provided by the nexus perspective and the consequent social, environmental, and economic benefits are real, implementation requires the right policies, incentives, and encouragement, and institutions and leaders that are up to the task, as well as frameworks that encourage empowerment, research, information, and education. Accelerating the involvement of the private sector through establishing and promoting the business case for both sustainability in the nexus is essential to driving change and getting to scale. Now, nexus perspective can be an option for adaptation to climate change. I thought I'll give you this background, the importance of the nexus that we are, and the topic that has been decided for the day. Now we have listed 6 speakers, but 2 of them are still doubtful to be coming. So we have 4 distinguished speakers this morning. Mr. Ravi Raina, the Chairman, Consultant Longi Solar Technology. Mr. Alok Kumar, Country Manager Advisory India and DNV GL Energy. Mr. Mohit Bhargava, Executive Director Renewable Energy, NTPC. And Dr. Prashant K. Kalita, Presidential Fellow, University of Illinois System. Professor, Soil and Water Resources Engineering, University of Illinois. Now you'll find that we have from the diverse group, but these 4 represent the 3 different sectors that we are concerned with this morning. And I'm sure that their opening statements will enlighten you much further as to what is happening globally and what is happening in India and how we can go around and we'll add value and make this conference more successful. Now, may I request Mr. Ravi Raina, Chairman Consultant, to kindly come and make his presentation. I'll suggest that the opening round you take about 10 minutes or so, and then there can be question answer. There could be interaction amongst you, and then we can go further. Thank you.